Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing making Chucky from the crochet kit that I got from Five Below. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we are going to be continuing part 2 of this video series. Where we left off is we were working on the body and we stopped at the end of round 9. We had just switched to the white. So let's continue making this. This is, the body's a little into it. If these kits are not for beginners. It also doesn't help that, you know, sometimes the materials isn't enough. So we're gonna work with what we got. Again, comment below, let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you still have material for some of this. We ran out of white for the head, so we just used well, it was oatmeal, but I just used my own white for it. You could always go to a hobby store and find a similar color. It may not be exact, but it's definitely going to be closer than me choosing white. So again, you guys, if you want to build this Chucky doll, I highly recommend that you find this kit. It might be in your local Five Below. These videos are only a supplement to the kit. I can't show instructions due to copyright, and I can't answer any questions regarding the instructions. All I can do is show you how to do the stitches 3 times, step by step, and then any other stuff in the instructions that I think you're going to need help with. Alright, so let's get straight into this. To click on the gear button, there's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talk, lower the volume on your device, and then click on the CC closed caption button. So let's get straight into this. I'm going to go gather up some feeder yarn. Okay. And we're going to be working on round 10. And we're basically going to be doing single crochet stitches all the way around. Last round we worked with back loop only. This time we're just going to do regular, so there's no weird, you know, things we're doing with this now. So let's pick up where we left off here. Now get ourselves situated. I guess when I put this away, the knot got through this loop. I'm just going to fix this here so that we can get to starting. So I want to show you guys again, in case you need a refresher, how to do a single crochet stitch. So what we're going to do is stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So here we have a clean transition, and we have a single crochet stitch in white. Let's do this again. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So now you have 2 single crochet stitches. One more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, so we just have to continue this all the way around. Rewind this video as many times as you need until you get comfortable doing these stitches on your own. I'm going to do all of the stitches with the exception of the last stitch, because I'm going to show you how to pick up the dark blue. But I'm going to be doing the rest in silence. Alright, so I did the ring of white. I left the last single crochet stitch because we're going to transition to the dark blue. So this is what we're going to be working with here. You're just going to have to juggle the other two colors. I'm not like too fond of it, but it's easier and it saves more yarn if you just keep it attached rather than cutting it and then tying it again. But yeah, so stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. So we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to drop this white here. You can use your ring fingers and pinky to hold it back. Then also hold back the red. We don't need that yet. I'm going to grab this blue. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both loops and we've made our transition to dark blue. So we are going to change to white again, so we're going to leave white on here, but I'm going to replace my marker and I'm going to put the marker underneath the last stitch we made, and we're going to continue on to round 11. So for round 11 we have alternating decreasing stitches and single crochet stitches all the way around, and then the last stitch I'm not going to do because we have to transition back to red. This is totally not going to be fun. Anyway, so let me show you how to do a decreasing stitch. You're going to stick, so basically a decreasing stitch is taking 2 stitches here and making it into 1. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Then put your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. Just like that. Alright, so now we have to do some single crochet stitches. So let's do that now. I've already shown you how to do the single crochet stitches. So just do the amount of single crochet stitches that the instructions tell you to do. And then we're going to go back in and I'm going to show you guys how to do a decreasing stitch again. So again, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Put your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over, pull up a loop, so now you have 3 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through all 3 loops, and that's a decreasing stitch. Alright, so then let's mix in our single crochet stitches, and I'm going to show you guys one more time how to do a decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so now we're going to do our single crochet stitches, and then you guys, I'm just going to repeat this all the way around until we get to that last stitch, and then I'm going to come back in and we're going to transition to the red this time. Doing this in silence. Alright, so I completed the blue all the way around, and then I'm going to transition to the red. So let's put our blue, oh wait, no, we gotta use it a little bit more. Okay. Alright. Just setting myself up. Right, so we're going to take our dark blue and we're going to do, we're going to stick our hook into the last stitch here. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Then I'm just going to put this blue yarn back here and then pick up the red. I'm holding down that blue with my ring finger. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through both loops with the red, and I've transitioned to the red. So take the marker, slip it under the last stitch we made, and so now you know how to transition to all these colors. Let me just see if we're going to switch again to red. So we're on round 12. Alright, so we're not going to be transitioning, oh wait, blue. We are going to, I meant to say blue. We are going to transition again to dark blue, so we're going to keep it. So for round 12, we are going to be doing single crochet stitches and decreasing stitches all the way around. I'm going to hold off on the last stitch because we're going to transition to white, and we've already done that. But after I transition to white, I'm going to show you how to cut it off because we're not going to be using white again. Alright, so let me do this in silence. Alright, so turns out we have a decreasing stitch at the end, and I didn't explain how to do that. So we are going to work that out now. So transitioning from red to white using a decreasing stitch. So you want to stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're just going to push this aside and pick up the white. Then we're going to yarn over. What is happening back here? I'm going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. And then we've transitioned to white. Take your marker, replace it under the last stitch you've made. And I might have said the wrong color when I said this, but let me show you how to tie off the red, because we won't be using red anymore. Right? Let's see. Yeah, red is done. So we're going to cut about 1 inch or so off the red yarn. You can try tying this around any pieces of yarn in here. Let's just tie it around the blue, because it's right next to it and it's not really being used right now. So take your red, take your blue, double knot it. Don't tie it too tight, just enough so you don't lose the stitch. Okay, you can tuck the red in there. And then we're going to be doing the white. So you can put this red away. Alright, so now for round 13, we're doing single crochet stitches all the way around, and then we're going to transition to blue. And then again, I'm going to show you how to cut off the blue. I'm going to do this in silence. Alright, so I finished the white. We're not going to be using this again, so I'm going to cut about 1 inch or so. I'm going to remove this here. And then we're going to tie this a couple times around the blue. Not too tight, just enough to keep it secure. And stick that excess piece in here. I'm going to take the marker and mark the last stitch I made. And then we're going to do round 14. So we have a new color we're going to introduce after round 14. You know what? This is actually getting kind of small. Well, it's not changing in size. Okay, we'll just keep it. So let me pull out the green because it says that we're going to be using the green now. Got it right here. Now I'm going to do the blue up to the last stitch, and I'm going to show you how to cast on a slip knot with the green. Okay, so I'll be doing this in silence.
Fighters and head west to Maribor. Philevandrel, take yourself to Kadu. She is out there.
Have there been sightings, or are we chasing more rumors?
We don't know. If Thriller has elder blood, we're basing it all on the words of some mage who came and went just as fast.
You have your orders.
I want to kill them all for what they have done to your child. Our hope. But sister, it is not enough.
My aim has not wavered. I will find Dolbathana.
But how? Where? There is no sanctuary left for elves here.
All will become clear once we have Cyrilla. She is our new hope. Do you doubt me?
The others are starting to.
Gallatin and the Scoia'tael.
They're back.
It's not good.
He doesn't need you to play nursemaid.
Alright, so now I'm going to take the blue here. We're going to pull this crochet hook out and make this loop very long, just so that we kind of prevent losing the stitch. We're going to set this project aside and we're going to pick up the green. So here, what you want to do is take your ring, pinky, and thumb, hold one end very tight. Then with your index and middle finger, hold the other end. You're going to take your crochet hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop around the hook, so you can go up and down with this loop. Slide the hook down towards your thumb. Take your middle finger and hold it right where it crosses, and then let go of your left hand there. We're going to gather up some feeder yarn, and then we're going to re-pinch this end, and you're going to slide the hook further down towards the thumb, and where it crosses, just pinch it so that you can no longer move your hook. Then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull this through the loop, and then I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to re-pinch my end. You don't want to lose that. I'm going to push this knot towards my thumb, and once you've hit a point where you can't push it anymore, take your thumb and middle finger and just pull out that little tiny tail here to make that knot more snug. So this is how much yarn I've wasted, which is in my what I like. And then we're going to grab this knot and slide it close to the hook. You want to leave some space because we have to remove the loop off the hook and then back onto our project. Tighten up the loop by pulling on the feeder yarn, and then we're going to do our last single crochet here. So stick your hook into the last stitch. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to set this blue aside, hold it back with your ring finger, slip on the green, then we're going to pull the green through those 2 loops, and then I'm going to move the marker to the last stitch we made. And since we won't be using the dark blue anymore, I'm just going to cut about 1 inch or so, and I'm going to double knot this around the green. Not too tight, and then you can stick this excess piece in here. So now we can work on the last row, and we're going to be doing single crochet stitches all the way around. So once I do this in silence, I'm going to come back in and show you how to fasten off. Alright, so we have to leave a long end. What that means, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing we're going to use this to sew. So what I like to do is go around the perimeter of the opening very generously once and then twice, and then cut it off so that I end up having my long piece here. Then we're going to yarn over, so yarn over and pull through the loop. We're going to pull this all the way out, and then we're going to tighten this up. And then it says stuff firmly, so I'm going to take out my stuffing. Still going strong here. I did go and get my own stuffing a while back, so in case I'm going to be using that if I run out, I highly recommend that you go and get more stuffing so that you don't have to rely on whatever they give you, because I like to have my dolls nice and firm. Some people don't. Ooh, maybe just a little bit more. Just want to make sure that it fills up the cavity here. Okay, so next we're going to be using blue for the overall bib. We're going to set this side for now, or join with dark blue with the remaining loop of any. Okay, so all right, so we're attaching this onto the front loops only. If you remember in the last video, we did a back loop only, and you can tell by this line of front loop only stitches. We're going to be working with that. Okay, so what we're going to do Okay, so again, we're going to take our ring, pinky, and thumb and hold one end. Then we're going to take our index and middle finger and hold the other. And then take your crochet hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to create a loop. So you're going to slide your hook up and down. Slide it down towards your thumb. Take your middle finger and hold it where it crosses so that we can let go of the left. Gather up some feeder yarn. Then re-pinch the end. We're going to drag the hook close to your thumb again. And where it crosses, just pinch it so you can no longer move your yarn. And then yarn over and pull through the loop. Overhand the hook. We're going to pinch the end there. We're going to push the knot towards the thumb as close as we can get to it. Once you hit the thumb or the knot's too tight for you to move anymore, take your middle and thumb and just pull out that little tail. And again, little waist. Okay, and then we're going to attach it any stitch along the 9th row. So we have opportunities here. So this is the seam, right? What we could do is we could make this bib across to cover that seam, but you'll still see the bottom here. So let's leave it alone that way. Keep that seam right in the back. Okay. And let's see. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do it because we have to do single crochet stitches. How do you end up with that? All right. So stick your hook in any of them. I'm just going to stick my hook into a random spot here in the front loop only. So just go underneath that little front loop that we had from the 9th row. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to go straight into single crochet stitching. So yarn over, pull up a loop. So we have 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. Let's do this again. Stick your hook from underneath that front loop. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So we have 2 single crochet stitches. Then I'm going to do one more with you guys. Stick your hook into the next stitch, the next front loop stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 3. So just finish this. The number of times that it says at the end of that instruction, they give you a number of single crochet stitches you need. So let's just do that. All right. So now for rounds 2 through 5. Haha, we're really doing that? Okay. So I need markers because I'm not good at keeping track. I'm going to put a marker under the last stitch we made to indicate I am working now on round 2 3, 4, and 5. All right, this is in my way. Okay, so gathering up some blue here. What we have to do is chain 1. We're gonna do a different way of crocheting that's not amigurumi. So to chain 1, all you have to do is yarn over and pull through the loop, and that's a chain 1. This one stitch here. Then it says to turn, so we're just going to literally turn our project so we see it this way. And then it says that we just have to do single crochet stitches all the way across. So into that marker, put in your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops. Then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. Let's do it again. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops. Yarn over, so you can pull through those 2 loops. Now you have another single crochet stitch. One more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through those 2 loops. We now have 3 single crochet stitches. Alright, so from here we're going to continue single crocheting down the row, and then I'm going to just show you one more time how to chain 1 and turn, and we're just going to keep repeating that until we use up the markers. Okay, so just to let me know, I'm going to mark the last stitch we made. This is going to indicate that we're doing round 3. We're going to yarn over and pull through the loop to chain 1. Then we're going to turn our project, and then we're going to do single crochet stitches all the way across. So again, we're just going to keep repeating this until we use up the markers. And it stops. I'm gonna jump back in and I'm gonna tell you what to do next, because I think we gotta do the straps after that, but I think I'm gonna read ahead and see if there's something we can do, because it doesn't tell you what to do after you finish this part.
Genocide. This time, it'll be the humans.
You keep spouting off about ancient times, prophecies. I don't know what you're looking for out there, but you want to keep elves alive. Here we are.
Promise me a princess. Now every king knows about her thanks to Josieism. It's not a good look, Dijkstra. You sorcerer would be mine.
Perhaps a tad quieter, Your Highness. We wouldn't want your beloved to catch wind.
Being the king used to mean something. It's been 6 months, and what have you got to show for it? Excuses, expenses, but no sign of the new princess you wanted me to marry.
Sir, our attention has been diverted because of the squirrels.
Oh, you have more excuses. Though don't even get me started on those bastards. Blaming us for murdering that stupid elfin baby. That definitely wasn't us.
You have the North's largest army and spy network. We are still the most feared kingdom of the North. For what do I have?
Alright. So I'm going to try something. Because it doesn't really explain. I guess you're supposed to fasten off this bib. But why do that when you can take the opportunity to do the straps? Because they want you to tie the straps to the bib. So bear with me. If this doesn't work, I'll try to edit it out. But we have to chain 13 chains. Oops. It's crazy that we gotta do this like all without the head attached. But anyway, let's do our chains. So I kind of showed you already how to do them. This is a great way to practice uniformity. Okay. So from the left side, we're going to count 15 front loop stitches. And then we're going to slip stitch into that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, did I say 15? Okay, 15, and we're going to slip stitch into here. So it says that, you know, you can remove chain stitches as you need if it's too long or short, but I think this is pretty good. So I'm just going to slip stitch it. Oh my gosh. And of course I just lose count. I lose my spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so we're going to do a slip stitch. So come up from underneath here. We're going to do a slip stitch. And that's yarn over and pull through all loops, and that's a slip stitch. It's fairly simple. Okay, and then we're supposed to do that in the next few stitches, so let's go ahead and do that. Oops. Oh, so in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all the loops off your hook. One more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all the loops off your hook. And then I'm just going to continue the rest of the way down. All right. And then you know what I'm going to do? We're going to snake this up here because we have to do the other side now. So we know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So I'm just going to go up the sides and do a slip stitch all the way up. Just take the end and stick your hook in there anywhere. Yarn over and pull through all loops like we did with the slip stitch, and just keep creeping your way up to that corner of the bib. And then we're going to do our chain stitches. All right. So I pretty much just went and done slip stitches up this bib. Let's do our chain stitches. All right. So from here, we're going to do the same thing. We kind of can count this because it told us the number of slip stitches. So then just continue. Okay, and you have to cross your straps. For the life of me, I cannot keep count. Okay, we're going to do our slip stitch where we're supposed to count off like we did on the left side. We're going to come up from underneath, and we're going to slip stitch this. All right. And then you know what? This is definitely a strange way to do this. Well, let me see. This is going to be weird. This is what we would hardly ever do or never do, but I want it to match, right? So let's just make it match. Do your slip stitches in the front loop only. We're going to come in on the side here, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all loops. And maybe it would help if I didn't pierce the yarn. Try not to pierce your yarn, you guys. As you can see, I split it. It's going to make it look messy, and that's not what you want. But basically what I'm going to do is do slip stitches all the way across to the other side of that bib, just like we did on the right side. And then I'm going to show you how to facet off one more time. So that way we have sides that match. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off about an inch or so. Then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through the loop all the way out, and then pull this end piece to tighten up that knot. Then what I'm going to do, stick your hook on one side, kind of the opposite side of where this is, and then try to come up right next to where that excess piece is up here. We're going to yarn over. Oh, as I'm doing this with my left. I'm a lefty, you guys. I've been doing righty videos for you, so sorry if I was doing it with the left. Just going to pull this into the body. I'm going to try to get this piece to go in and hide completely. So just keep pulling. If it doesn't want to go in anymore, you can come back out with your hook where you got the excess piece. Yarn over, pull it in again, drag it in there. Now if you have a hard time pulling your hook out, just push it out through a random side. So that's how I hid the excess piece. The arms and the legs, again, I'm going to be doing off camera, the second pair. So let's start with the oatmeal. In my case, we have white, but hopefully you still have oatmeal. So we're going to do a magic ring. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to wrap the yarn around your finger 3 times with a little bit of overage so you can put your middle finger right on top. Then you're going to straighten out your strands here, make them, you know, not too tight, but tighter and straight. We're going to stick our hook underneath the 3 strands. Then we're going to pull this back out, but we're going to drag this strand underneath these 2. So hook it, turn it to its side, and slip it underneath the other 2 strands, like that. And then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to put this strand through the loop, and then we're going to let go of our middle finger, remove the rings off your index finger. So now we can create our single crochet stitches. So I've shown you how to do a crochet stitch, but I'm going to show you how to do it in a magic ring. So we're basically just going to stick the hook inside the rings. So put your hook in the ring, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. There's 1. Then we're going to stick our hook into the rings again and do a single crochet stitch. And then one more time with you guys into the magic ring, we're going to do a single crochet stitch. So now we have 3. What I'm going to do is continue making the rest of the single crochet stitches that are required for round 1. Alright, so from here we have to close the magic ring. What I'm going to do is overhand my hook. We're going to lightly grip the stitches down here, and then we have to pull this excess piece. We're going to look out to see which loop goes inside first. So slowly pull this, and once you've identified the loop, you can stop pulling. Okay, so this one was moving in first. What you want to do now is pull the lower half out of that loop. So come in and grab it down here. Don't grab it up here, grab it down here, and you're going to see the other loop start to disappear into that magic ring. That's exactly what we want to do until that loop is completely gone inside. So once you can't see that loop anymore, you can stop. You might still have a little hole. What we're going to do is grab this excess piece, and we're going to do the same thing to this loop. Pull it until it disappears into the magic ring. Now, to get just a little bit more, because there's still a little hole in there, I'm going to pull in the opposite direction and a little up, like a 45-degree angle, and you're just going to pull it. You're going to feel a little pull, and then it'll stop. You don't have to pull it too hard, but we just pulled the little bit more left to close this hole altogether. So then I'm going to take my marker, stick it under the last stitch we made, and then we're going to move on to the second round. So for the second round, we are doing an we're alternating single crochet stitches with it says 2 single crochet stitches in the next stitch. That basically means an increasing stitch. They didn't call it an increasing stitch here, but universally from instructions to instructions, it's going to be an increasing stitch. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, let's do our single crochet stitches. What we're going to do after the first round is you want to count the number of stitches required for round 1, and then you're going to stick your hook into the last stitch, And then here we're going to start our round 2. All right. So now I'm going to show you how to do an increasing stitch. So in this stitch, put in your hook, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, and put your hook in the same stitch, 2. So if you can take a look closely, this one stitch has 2 single crochet stitches in them. So we're going to repeat this the number of times that the instruction says. Let me show you how to do an increasing stitch again. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, do your single crochet stitch, and then put your hook into the same stitch we just used and do another single crochet stitch. So again, we have this 1 stitch, and then we have 2 single crochet stitches coming out of it. So let me show you guys how to do this one last time. So into the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, 1 and 2. All right, so I'm going to remove the marker, place it under the last stitch we made, and then we're going to move on to round 3. So for round 3, we have, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to do single crochet stitches all the way around. I'm going to do that now. Alright, so I'm going to move the marker under the last stitch we made, and then we're going to do round 4. So for round 4, we are alternating single crochet stitches with a decreasing stitch, and I'm showing you how to do that. And it's in parentheses, so we have to repeat it the number of times that it says on the instructions, and then we're changing to red. So the last stitch I'm going to leave so that we can cast on the red with the slip knot. All right, so let's do this. And this is probably curling in on you like it is on me already. So you just flip that inside out so that the right side shows outward. And then you can tuck this excess piece in. Try not to crochet through it. But now we can get back to doing the rest of our stitches. Alright, actually we have a decreasing stitch left to do. So I'm going to leave it here. We're going to pull this out, and like we did with the body, we're going to cast on with the red using a slip knot. Okay, and I've shown you guys how to do this, so we're just going to do that now. Oop. I almost pulled that all the way out. Alright, so from here we're going to finish our last stitch, but we're going to end it with the red. Right, and we're not going to use the oatmeal again, or in my case white. So I'm going to cut. Where are my scissors? Did I just place it down somewhere? Hold on a sec, let me find my scissors. Alright, so I have my scissor, gonna cut off 1 inch or so of the oatmeal. And we're gonna tie it twice around the red. Not too tight. And you can tuck that into the arm, and then we're going to move on to the next round. Oh, I'm going to remove this marker and place it under the last stitch we made. Okay, now we're going to be doing single crochet stitches all the way around, so this should be easy. But then we're going to transition to white. So I'm going to stop at the last stitch, and we're going to cast on a slip knot with the white. So by the end of this, you're going to be pros at changing colors, because this is a lot. Alright, I'm down to my last one, but I'm gonna wait because I have to do my slip knot. So, and I've shown you how to do that a bunch of times, so you can go and just rewind that. Once you get faster at doing this, you kind of, do things slightly different to just go faster. All right, so let's complete the last stitch here. Okay, and then we're going to be using red again, so I'm going to leave this on, but I am going to put the marker under the last stitch we made, and then we're going to go around with the white, and we're changing to dark blue after. Oh, at the last stitch, gonna hold off. We're gonna change to the dark blue. Now here's the thing. I did do the second pair of arms and legs. This is all the dark blue I have left. So I'm gonna sneak in because I want the legs to match. So I'm gonna use the light blue. I don't think we're using the light blue anywhere else. Let's see. Yeah, no. So I'm going to use the light blue. So just make pretend this is the dark blue. but it's, I mean, I get why they use the light blue to you can see the contrast in the overalls with the light blue and the dark blue, but man, like, I'm just afraid I'm not going to have enough dark blue after this. It looks like I'm not. So again, like, they need to stop being so stingy. All right, so let's do our last stitch and transition to the blue. And then we're gonna replace the marker. Okay. And then we're going to go all the way around with the dark blue, and then we're going to change to the green. Yeah, there's a lot of color changes on this project. It's kind of fun, but not really, because it's so small. We're working with, you know, a small amount of stitches, so you have to be very patient, and your fingers just have to work together. I know it sounds silly, but I can tell my mind, like in my mind, I can tell my hands to do something, and then they do another. I don't know why. Especially when you're tired. All right, so here's the last stitch. We're going to pull this out because we have to cast on the green using the slip knot. Okay. I don't think we're going to use blue again, so we can tie off the blue. So we're going to do the last stitch. And then we're going to switch to the green. I'm going to cut off an inch or so. Let me just double check. No more blue. Okay. Cut this off about an inch or so. Tie it around our green. Double knot. You can tuck this in the arm if you can. It's really small. Okay. Then I'm going to replace the marker. Right. Then we're going to do stitches all around, and then we're changing to the red yarn. Okay, we won't be using the green again. So let's pick up the red. Okay, oh, let's do the last stitch. Jeez. And then finish off with the red. Then we're going to cut the green. And double knot it around the red. You can tuck that into the arm. I'm going to replace the marker. And then we're going to complete the next round, and we're switching to white after. Oh, and did I replace yet? Okay, last stitch. Start it with the red, and then we're going to end it with the white. Then we're going to cut off about an inch or so. Double knot it. Then you can tuck that red in the arm. Remove the marker. Put it under the last stitch you made. Okay, and then we're going to use the white. Okay, then I'm going to remove the marker and fasten off. I realize this thing has been saying join, and I haven't been doing that. When you sew it, you're not going to even see it anyway, so. Okay, so we need to leave a long tail. Again, I'm just going to go around the circumference of the arm twice, very generously. Okay. And then I'm going to yarn over. We're going to pull that through the loop all the way out, tighten it up, and then we have our arm. So now we're going to do the leg. You can pause this video and do the other arm, but I'm going to do that. I did that off camera, so I'm going to move on to the leg. So we're going to work the magic ring with the white yarn. So wrap it around again 3 times around your finger with a little of overage so you can put your middle finger on there. We're going to straighten out the strands, tighten it up a little bit, and then slip our hook underneath the 3 strands. We're going to pull it back out, and we're going to slip this strand underneath these 2. So hook the strand, turn your hook sideways so that you can slip it underneath the 2 strands. Then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up that through the loop. And then you can let go of your middle finger, and you can slip the rings off of your index. So now we're going to do the single crochet stitches in the magic ring. I've shown you how to do this, so I'm just going to quickly do this. Okay, and once you have that done, you can just pull the excess piece, check to see which loop is going in, stop pulling. The loop that went in first, you want to pull the lower half out. Make sure your grip is not too tight, but keep pulling till that other loop is gone. Then we're going to pull this excess piece and make the other loop gone. And just to close up this hole very tight, we're going to pull in the opposite direction and up, maybe like a 45-degree angle. You're going to feel a little pull, but don't pull too hard. And then now your hole is completely gone. So let's take our marker and mark the last stitch we made. And then we're going to move on to round 2. So to do that, just count backwards the number of stitches from the hook. It's kind of hard to find after the first round where the next stitch is. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not. But just count back how many stitches you're supposed to have for round 1 and stick your hook into that last one, as that will be your next stitch. And then we're going to do an increasing stitch. So I've shown you guys how to do that. That's basically 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. So just do that all the way around. Alright, after that's done, replace your marker. And we're going to move on to round 3. So for round 3, we have to alternate single crochet stitches with an increasing stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around and changing to red. So I'm not going to do the last one. Alright, so last stitch, I'm going to leave alone and we're going to change to the red. Okay, last stitch, finish off with the red. Replace the marker. Okay, so here it says we're going to fasten off the white. So what we're gonna do says to leave enough for embroidering stripes on the shoe, and that's optional. I actually did it on the other shoe. So just grab yourself a good amount of white yarn to sew. And I'm actually just gonna tie this around this excess piece because it's close by. Double knot just so we don't lose any stitches, but I'm gonna leave this for later and I'll show you when to use it. But now I'm gonna go with my red here. And for this one, we're doing a 4, 5, 6, and we're doing all single crochet stitches all the way around, and I'm going to do this in silence. Alright, so I'm going to move on to round 7 now. I am running out of red, surprise, surprise, but I do have my own red here, and this one is not as thick as the white, so it's not going to be huge. So what I'm going to do is just tie this together. Comment below, let me know if you ran out of any of the colors so far. I ran out of oatmeal right away. And now I ran out of the red. Okay. And luckily I had this red just lying around, like literally lying around from something else I must have done. So I have it. So that's good. Alright, so for round 7, we are alternating decreasing stitches with single crochet stitches all the way around. So let's do that now. The only thing is that my yarn is a little stiffer than this one. So there might be a difference there on top of the fact that it's not the perfect shade. So you're going to be able to see the different colors of red on here, but you know, I don't care. Like we did with the head and as well with Mike Myers, ran out of yarn, just used my own. Wasn't even the same color. You know, it's just, it's disappointing. Alright, it says to stuff foot. I'm actually going to take this moment to embroider the lines on to the shoe, and I'm going to pull out the other leg that I did so that you can see what I did there. You don't have to do it that way. I was trying to figure out what the box was doing, and I couldn't figure it out, so I just did my own thing. Well, let me just get this leg out. So I just did 2 laces across and I did 2 stripes on the side. So, you know, simple, but did what I wanted it to do. Alright, so then we're going to do, this is the seam line, so let's use this side here. I'm going to do the laces first, so I'm just going to stick my sewing needle up through one of the rows here. I just want to match it, so I'm going to put this one on here. I at least want it to look the same. Okay. And it looks like I did it about 3 stitches, so you don't have to do the same thing. Here's one lace, and then here's the other, and then I kind of went down here. Down here, went down here. I did my stripes, and there's 2 of them. So it doesn't say anything like this. It doesn't say how to do it on here, so don't feel bad if you feel like you didn't do it right. I'm just really making it up, so. Okay, and then doing the other stripe. So now I'm just gonna have to tie this to, I guess, this piece here. Not too tight, but double knot. And then we're gonna stuff the leg. Okay, and then you can remove your needle, and I'm just gonna stuff all of this in here. It'll add to your stuffing. And I wanted to get this stuff done because the next round is going to be a doozy. We're going to be doing decreasing stitches all the way around, so you want to make sure to stuff because it's not going to be easy once we start doing our decreasing stitches. So I need to replace this marker here under the last stitch we made, and we're going to move on to round 7. I guess it had you stuff after, but no, wait. I mean round 8, sorry, we just did 7. So round 8, like I said, we're just doing decreasing stitches all the way around. The last stitch I'm holding off, we have to change to the dark blue. So that's why I saved the dark blue. We have this much. I don't even know if it's going to be enough to do the leg, but we're just going to do it anyway. It might. Let's see. So I'm just going to cast on using a slip knot. And then we're going to change to the dark blue. Alright, let's do our last stitch here. Starting off with the red, and then we're going to finish with the blue. Okay, and then we won't be using red again, so we're going to cut this off. I'm going to tie around the dark blue twice. Tuck that end in there. We're going to replace our marker under the last stitch we made. Okay. Now for row 9 we have to work back loop only. So we've done this before. Let me show you how to do it. So, did we do that for this one? Maybe we already done it. Okay. These stitches are made up of 2 loops. We have the front loop and the back loop. So when we have back loop only, we have to put our hook into the back loop only. So stick your hook into that back loop. Try not to get the fiber fill. See, you have the back loop there, front loop is out here. We're going to be doing our single crochet stitch. Right, and then let's do it 2 more times, you guys. So you have your front and back loop. You're going to stick your hook into the back loop. Try not to get the fiber fill. Alright, then we're going to do our single crochet stitch. And then 1 more time, you guys. Here's the front loop, here's the back loop. Put your hook into the back loop, avoid the fiber fill, and then do your single crochet stitch. So I'm just going to do this all the way around. And then we're going to move on to the next round. All right, replace your marker. All right. So for round 10, 11, 12, and 13, we're going to be doing single crochet stitches, and then we're going to fasten off, and then we'll have the cuffs, and then we can sew. I'm going to do this in silence. so I completed my legs. One's a little bigger because of the yarn change, but not terrible. We can set these colors aside for now. We're going to work on white. So we're going to be doing the cuffs, and we actually need the legs for that, and I just put them away. So let's cast on with a slip knot. Okay. Now take a leg, and it says to join white with the slip stitch in any remaining loop of round 9. So round 9 is up here. We're going to be making a cuff around this way. So you can tell because we have all these remaining front loops that we used. I guess I'm just going to start here, right where the seam was. And we're going to slip knot this white. So slip knotting is just slipping it through the loop. Okay, so now for round 1 we're gonna do I want to teach you how to do a half double crochet stitch. It's one of my favorite stitches. It's a little bit more involved than the single crochet stitch, but I think you're gonna like it. Alright, so to do a half double crochet stitch, you're gonna yarn over. We have 2 loops on our hook now. We're going to stick our hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet stitch. So then we're going to do an increasing stitch with the half double crochet stitch. Before we were just doing single crochet stitches. Now we're using halves. So yarn over into the next stitch. Here is where we're going to do 2 of these half double crochet stitches. But yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Actually pull through all loops. Sorry. Okay, I think I split the yarn too. Okay. And then we're going to do another one in the same stitch. So yarn over, put your hook into that same stitch we just used, yarn over again, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So we just did an increasing stitch with 2 half double crochet stitches. Alright, so let's do another half double crochet stitch. Stick your hook into the next stitch. Oh wait, yarn over, sorry. Stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. So now we're going to do another half double, an increasing half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do it again, yarn over, put your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Alright, so I'm going to show you this one more time, you guys. So yarn over into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And actually this is going to be the last stitch anyway, so we're going to show you how to do the increasing stitch. Half double crochet, yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then one more time, yarn over, put your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Alright, so how do we finish this off? Alright, so we're just finishing off. Oh, terrible. Alright, so we're gonna fasten this off. They want us to embroider red, blue, and green stripes on this cuff. I'm sorry, you guys, that's not happening. Because look how tiny we have to do. If you want to do that, go ahead, do that. Pause this video. But they want you to sew on stripes with the colors, and it's just too small for me. So I'm actually going to go in randomly here. I'm going to just go under the surface of my shoe. I'm going to yarn over that excess piece, and I'm going to drag that into the project, and then do it again if it's too long. I just want to hide this without having to cut it, because I'll still have to hide it, so might as well just hide the whole thing. If I have a hard time pulling out my hook, just gonna push it through the other side. And yeah, so if you have the time and the patience, go ahead and sew the colors on there. We're doing the red, green, and blue. You can kind of see it in the box. I'm not gonna do that. So what I am gonna do is do the other cuff off camera, and then we're gonna come back in and we're gonna sew everything. I'm really excited because I've got a lot to do this month. All right, so here's all the body parts. I actually emptied the stuffing. I just spread it out between the body and the head, and let's sew this. So we're gonna sew the butt of the body to head at what? They do not end with the same stitch count, but I find this better to support the head. Alright, well, so we're sewing this together. I mean, I would say let's do green to the head and not white to the body. I don't know. Just so that it looks like the shirt is going over the neck. So thread up your needle and make sure to line up your head with the, look how cute that is. We didn't even sew it together yet. All right, so start sewing. I say this a million times, I'm not a sewer, so try to work with me here. And the stitches don't match, so you're just gonna have to best divide it up. Oh my gosh, texture hair everywhere. Okay, once you've reached the other side, then you can find your moment to tie a knot. Right, and then once you tie your knot, I'm just going to stick this through one side of my project and randomly out the other. Pull it out. I'm going to cut this flush. Okay, then you just squeeze the head to make that piece disappear. Alright, so now we have the head onto the body. Then we got to do the arms. Take your needle, thread it up. Right. Okay, we have to do this in an angle facing forward. So we want to put this just under the overall straps as well. Okay, and if you want this to not be flappy and sewn to the body, you can do that. Just you have to slip your thread here and just underneath the arm so that you can secure that to the body. I feel like I want to do this one more time right next to the edge. Okay, and once you've done that, you can secure a knot. I don't know why I took that needle out. Because we're going to do the same thing. You're going to go into one side of your project, and then we're going to randomly come outside another spot. I'm going to cut this flush and then just squeeze it to hide those pieces there. So we got the one side sewn on. Then we're just going to do the other arm. Then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go through the underside of the body and hook the arm to pin it down to the body. I'm just going to do this one more time. Okay, and then tie your knot. Then we're going to go into the project and come out randomly somewhere. Cut it flush. Squeeze the head to hide those ends there. Okay, so we've got our second arm. Now we got to do the legs. And we're going to do it to where he's in a sitting position. And that's pretty smart because these legs kind of give me Sonic the Hedgehog vibes. These lanky legs aren't going to hold up this kid here. So I'm going to place this on his side of the body and up. Oh, I got to make sure that I have the laces pointing on the right side here. And like we did with the arms, if you want to not have this flap, you can go into the body here. And sew secure the leg to the body. Right, and once you have that, you can secure your knot. Ugh. Okay, we have the one foot. Let's do the other one. I honestly don't even know how much time we have on here, you guys. I really hope we're still under the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna, after I sew this, I'm gonna check. Okay, just want to make sure that the laces are facing the same way. Okay, securing my knot. Going in one end, out the other. Okay, both legs on. It's still top heavy, so it's not gonna sit. All right. Now we have to put the red buttons. These felt stickers. We're gonna put them right where the straps are, or should be. So we're gonna be putting them like right here. And after you place these on here, just go ahead and push them down for a little bit longer. Make sure that the adhesive gets to stick to every bit of yarn surface as possible so that it sticks longer. I do not recommend washing these. If you want, you could take sewing thread and sew around the edge to keep them there. Alright, when I come back, we're going to see if we have time for the hair. Alright, you guys, so just when you thought it was over, we don't have time to do the hair today, but when we come back, we are going to do the hair. So comment below, let me know how it's going. This is my hodgepodge Chucky so far with the multiple colors, whatever. But we are almost there, and I'm looking forward to doing the hair and seeing how cute this is. We also have to sew on the scars at any rate. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.